Hello guys, and hello from my hotel room in Melbourne at the Holiday Inn, Burke Street. I'm going to go to see a museum about Malta, a Malta museum today. I'm going to find Malta in Australia at this museum. Thanks to Mario for allowing me to go and visit this museum today, because at this time of year it's closed. It's the holidays, Christmas holidays. And well, you'll see it with me. I'm going with some relatives. They're going to drive me there, and we'll see this museum. It's in Morwell, Latrobe Valley, I think, if I'm not mistaken. All right, see you soon. So this is it, the Malta Museum.
Oh, I see. She must have.
We had a big Christmas do, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mario. Mario Sammut, right?
Sammut.
He runs this museum, the only Malta museum in Victoria, right?
Yes.
And I'm really in Australia. Wow, wow. Thank you for taking care of stamps. Thank you. All right, okay, we'll do this later. All right, okay, okay. Okay, so I managed to find Malta in Australia. There's even the Royal Opera House here, which we don't have in Malta anymore, but they have it here. Here we have the Grand Masters listed here. Latrobe Valley Museum. Let me just show you a few of the stuff. Malta. Lots of souvenirs of Malta, and you have the wool. Yeah. Knights. That's one of the guns, you know, the cannons actually, the cannons. And we actually have we have two of these in London. You will see that you will be able to see that in another video later on. The floor of St. John's Cathedral in Valletta. You have some art of Malta, historical Malta photos, or art, I think. Art, not photos. Beautiful art. Order of St. John, have the fortifications, one of the towers. We have the tombola, famous tombola. In the UK you call it bingo, but anyway, Don George Breka, but he's listed as son George Breka. That's before it became declared a saint. Monks of Malta, George Cross. Chisklager, Winstop Award. The brewery experience, Parsons Brewery experience. That's something that one can visit. I've been there to eat at one of the restaurants for Christmas, but I need to visit the experience. Perhaps I can do a video about that in the future. So keep watching. We have typical house lock and keys from the old houses. Gozo Jar Harbour, Tappino Sanctuary Gozo, Habata, Maltese doorknobs. There's an Instagram account which posts these also. I will try to link that, or I will add it on the screen. Here we have the doors of Indina, another night. I think this is for spinning yarn, something. I think when they do the lace work, I think they use this machine. And here we have. Oh.
They did the spinning wheel.
Spinning wheel.
The spinning wheel. That they did the wool. The wool and the.
Did you see that?
I haven't been in there yet.
No, the plates on that last cabinet. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay. The old gate of Valletta, the Porta Reale. there. And we have the Maltese cheeselets or ġbejnet tal-bżar. And if you're not Maltese and you're a visitor, try them when you come to Malta, or if you can find them somewhere else. I don't know if you can find them in Australia. You can, huh? Good, okay, so. طيب, they make them in Australia also. طيب. Maltese bocce also have the the game of bocce. Okay, so that's another interesting. Here we have HMS Urge, which is heritage listed submerged shell, is now used as a diving experience for tourists. All right, here we have now the map of Malta and Gozo Islands. Have naval map, also Second World War memorabilia, Malta and the Royal Navy. The world's most bombed island. So we have photos here of various people. Imperial Service awarded to Edgar Gambin. Certificate of Service. Malta at War. The War Illustrated. Memorabilia from the war. Let's try and show St. Patrick's Hall, Burke Street. Yeah, that's in the cathedral, St. Patrick's Cathedral. A get-together, this was a get-together evening for the Maltese, to commemorate Malta's Day. Interesting, 1947. Maltese stamps. Fairly recent, and I think a few older one with the pound, for example. Here we have the pound. And here we have more recent ones with cents. 2002, for example. Maltese surnames from the Maltese newsletter. And we have a ranking of the first 120 surnames. This is from a post by Tony Buttigieg on Facebook. Okay, so here we have other the awarding of the George Cross. We have the notice from Buckingham Palace. Here we have a Malta bus. You have another gate. Valletta, I think. And we have other stamps. Some of them with Queen Elizabeth on them. Churchill here, these stamps. You can see Churchill. And the old coins, Maltese coins. Yeah, and then we have these here. And you have the old Deserta chocolate. That's something that was, I can say it, many people didn't really like it, it wasn't too good. But it remains, part of history. Then, like everything, you either like it or you don't like it. Like Vegemite too. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Some smoking pipes. Maltese Voices, Down Under, a CD. Repubblica ta' Malta. Frank Consiglio, a tribute. Repubblica ta' Malta, Frank Consiglio. He retired from his post as Malta's Consul General in Victoria. All right, so that's who he was. So you've got his memory here. Here have another old map. Malta and Gozo, a galleria, which is our traditional Maltese wooden balconies. Here we have an article on Il Galleria. I don't know if they mentioned the connection with the Arabic spy windows, but I don't think they mentioned. Yes, there is something. Let me see. The mushrabiyya, the Arabic mushrabiyya, yes, okay. In reality, this type of balcony was derived from North African, mostly Moroccan prototypes, which derive again from the Arabic mushrabiyya, lookout place. During the rule of the Order, Malta was home to a huge number, predominantly Turkish slaves, some of whom were master craftsmen who might have helped to introduce the wooden balcony in Malta. Okay. Okay, and there is a mention of a historical house, Casa Rocca Piccola in Valletta. Okay. Without hesitating, he gave me the answer. He said this was from Arabic times, when women had to be hidden, but the Maltese society didn't have to hide women. Instead, it morphed into the fact that pretty much all women were housewives, and they really stayed in the home and didn't venture out. So the saying, "The woman's place is in the home," rings true. Here he went to explain that housewives would sit on high stools and watch what was going on outside. In a weird way, it was their reality TV. Alright, so it's to them, there is a connection with the mushrabiyya, because I was not certain that there was really a connection. I would like to read information which is scientific, which proves it better, not just someone who thinks, something. But anyway, I'd say it's probably connected, Here we have a Maltese carrozzine, a windmill, Maltese fisherman, Maltese lace worker, watchtowers. These are typical souvenirs from the 50s and 60s. And they look great. I think I've never seen this type of souvenir. Other plates, which are souvenirs. And these are nice to have, or to see. Here we have another knight with the 8-pointed cross, symbolizing the 8 beatitudes given to the Benedictine monks acting as nurse hospitalers, helping pilgrims during the Crusades by Pope Alexander IV in the year 1259. The patron saint was John the Baptist, and the word hospital comes from hospitalers, which explains why St. John's Ambulance Brigade carries the white cross on the black background logo. In fact, the Order of Malta, these Knights of Malta, had connections in Europe, which are something which you will see also in some other videos, which I have already filmed, but I haven't edited them. That's the Maltese balcony, gallery, Republic Street. And nowadays it doesn't look like that because you have all the restaurant tables taking up the majority of the street now, which it's a pity. It looked much better in 2006. More old maps of Malta. They're always great to find. Here we have the famous Maltese faldetta or onnella.
Nowadays, see this? In the 60s, early 60s, they decided to start doing this and send it as a present for Christmas from Malta. So you had Sunshine and St. Albans, right, which was predominantly Maltese. Each kitchen and each bathroom had to have these.
Yeah.
And these are brand new. I found them somewhere. It's unique. You can't get them nowadays. And these are the early presents that were sent, exchanged between the Maltese.
We have the onnella now. Faldetta. So this was what the women would wear in the past. You can see some paintings of them, or photos, old photos. You can see here some photos. More knights. Il Guardiola, this is from Senglea or Isla. It's the peninsular town that, like Birgu, faces Valletta. And you can see this Guardiola sentry post watching over the town. Okay. All right.
I did this morning with already.
Okay.
Okay, so why do we have a museum? Why? How did the museum start?
Okay.
What is the reason that we have a museum? Actually, the main reason is these replica buildings. So I presume you want me to speak
Yes,
English,
yes.
not Maltese?
It's better in English so that
Better
everyone
in English.
can understand.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, Charlie Camilleri, he was from St. Albans. His hobby was building these replicas of buildings that are in Malta.
Wow.
Now, he spent his lifetime, after work, Saturdays, Sundays, that was his passion. But the thing is that he didn't have measurements, you know, so he did all this from photographs. You have the photo of the old opera house, so just look at that and imagining and whatever, but the finished product is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Even
It is.
inside.
Very.
You can actually
Oh, I didn't even see it.
you can actually see the balconies and everything on the stage.
That was all done by.
Can I take a photo?
That's right.
Can I take
No.
a photo like this?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, man.
You might get a reflection.
I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
try. I'm going to try.
So Charlie started getting old, and his house started to get smaller because he kept building and building.
Oh, yeah.
All those were done by Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, whatever you see here, painted white,
Okay.
that's all done by Charlie.
Wow.
Okay. Yes.
So in 2016, here in Victoria, we had the Commonwealth Games, and the Maltese team, basketball team, were playing in Traralgon, which is the next town. Coincidentally, the local council adopted the Maltese Olympic team as its preferred team in the Olympics. So, because we had the Olympic team here, we decided to hold a big night. And it just happened that on that night, Charlie Pousset, he's the violinist, he was here, and we got him here too.
Gracias.
So I asked Charlie if he can lend us all this to do an exhibition next door.
Okay.
This
Yeah, it wasn't.
wasn't here.
Okay.
This was the Morwell Racing Pigeon Club.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just happened that Charlie brought them down, he came down, and then we took them back. 2006, a couple of years later, I asked him if we can use them again because we were holding a Maltese Festa, a huge Maltese Festa. We had a turnout of about 10,000 people. So we brought them down again, but this time, obviously, his family wasn't happy that the house was full of these, so he had to store some of them at his friend's house. So we had to pick them up from all over the place, and they were damaged because putting them on a truck, bringing them from Melbourne, blah blah blah. Anyway, when we finished, and I said to Charlie, "When do we bring them up?" He said, "Don't bring them up. If you promise me you restore them and put them in the Maltese Community Centre, you can have them." He said, "A lot of people wanted to buy them, but I won't sell them. You can have them." Okay, so
That's how you got it.
Gracias.
that's how we got them.
That's
But
good,
There you go.
yeah.
some of the members weren't happy because these were going to take a lot of space in there,
Okay.
right? It just happened that 2 weeks later, right, this building was condemned. The Pigeon Club was condemned, and council was demolishing it. Hang on. Can we buy it as it is? So we just bought it.
As it was.
In English we say it was a hippo shit. And there was a lot of that. Pigeon shit and all the other stuff.
Pigeons.
So-
You expected it.
It just happened that one of the power stations, and this is true, this is what was meant to be, it was meant to happen. one of the power stations, Hazelwood Power Station, was closing down, and the state government set up this body. It was called the Latrobe Valley Authority, to help out the community and the workers to transit from that work to something else. So there was plenty of money going around, sports clubs, blah blah blah. So I put my hand up and I thought, well, at least we'll try.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to sell the idea that we needed a Maltese museum, we needed this, we needed that, and eventually they relented and they came up with a nice sum of money. Right? It was a new idea, but the reasoning was that because the power stations are closing down, and the only reason we had power stations here is because of the migrants. So in the late 50s, early 60s, when the power stations were being built, right? And the migrants were coming from all, especially from Europe. The actual SEC, State Electricity Commission, had scouts. So when they knew that a ship with migrants was coming in, these scouts used to go up near the ship, and as people are disembarking, they would say, "Do you want a job? Have you got a job?" And you just say, "No, I want a job." "Yeah, okay, go on that train." And then they brought them down to the Latrobe Valley, Greeks, Italians, any nationality, right?
My daughter-in-law's parents
Yeah.
lived here. Kaleja.
So eventually, you had a multicultural. It was probably the first multicultural society that you could get.
Yes.
All these people together, and soccer was, football was the main language at that stage. The Maltese, whatever. Anyway, so eventually you had the Maltese club, the Italian club, the Greek club, the German club, blah blah blah. Nowadays, it's only the Maltese Community Centre that survived as a community centre. So my thinking was, if we don't do this now, if we don't pick up whatever is still around, this is going to finish for us. Now, you have to understand that when someone leaves their country as a migrant, especially in the 50s and 60s, that was a sentence that from now on, you're not going to see your motherland again, you're not going to see your family, because it's not like today. You've got the internet, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So each migrant, before coming to Australia, and it's not just Maltese, we're talking about migrants, would take something with them that still reminds them and connects them with their homeland. Now, in times of trouble, or when someone dies in Malta, family member or whatever, the fact that you could hold to that something made the connection. The problem was, most of the time, the husband and wife wouldn't share why I brought this box with me, for example. Right? Yeah, it's just a box.
Oh, yeah.
This is an example. Why? Why did I bring it with me? So the wife wouldn't tell the husband, and the husband vice versa. We've got examples of bits and pieces there from a bar in Malta, Hanut Tashot. Someone must have been working there, or الزنجلة الكيلة اللي بيعوا selling capers.
Okay.
Right? So someone must have been doing that and brought it with them. But what happened is, when the grandchildren inherited the house and wanted to get rid of the house, so that sell the house quickly, whatever was inside, they're found. Or it was given to the Salvation Army shop, St. Vincent's and whatever. And there was a time when I was working in Melbourne that I used to go around these shops and pick up small bits and pieces. Oh, that's Maltese. That's Maltese, right? And that's where the idea came from. If we don't collect these are going to finish. Now, the story is, and this is exactly the truth, while we were working to restore the building, and I was working with a couple of other guys restoring this. I just realized we didn't have enough artifacts to have a museum, because you need a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you do.
It just happened that a friend of mine, who was the Consul General, Maltese Consul General in Victoria, maybe you know him, Frank Consilio. He was the first Consul General, right? He used to tell me that he had a small shed behind the house, and he used to collect bits and pieces. So I thought, okay, I'll have a go. But by this time he was dead, his family had shifted and whatever. So I put a notice on the Facebook page. I knew his son's name was Colin, and half an hour later we were talking, and Colin said, yeah, my dad used to tell me about it, blah, blah, blah. And he said, what's wrong? I said, look, this is the story. I want to open up a museum, blah, blah, blah. He said, you know what? You wouldn't believe it, he said. We want to empty the house because we're selling it, where his father used to live. Can you come and take whatever you want? Right?
That's cobweb. Cobweb, yes.
That's all
Can I
right.
have the key so I can go and get the bucket, please?
Yes.
You
Which one is it?
So now it's time to say bye and see you in the next video. Bye from Travel Malta. Support this channel by joining now. Become a member. Click the join button.